I keep saying this in my videos, but you don't got to go to the club in Rio to have fun. You can literally go to a beach and have fun.
Hey, Jamie Woods, we here to travel and motivate. No curry, we just trying to keep our minds in a golden state. We answer to nobody but the Lord, we control our fate. Too many things to see just to sit in a hole and bake. We growing, ayy.
How would you compare the beaches to Brazil to the other beaches that you've been to around the world, even your native country, Dominican Republic?
So I would say out of all the beaches I've been to worldwide, my two favorite beaches in the world is Barceloneta in Barcelona for specific reasons. And then, of course, Ipanema. But I actually like Copacabana, like, because it's Copacabana Beach, there's Ipanema, and then there's Leblon, and then there's a ton of other beaches in Rio. There's a ton of them, right? But I've only been to two of them, which is Copacabana and Ipanema. So I feel Ipanema was a better vibe, was the best vibe I experienced.
Yeah.
Because just the scenery is epic. You get that mountain in the background. Like, that just is beautiful, man. I feel like Brazilians take beach culture very seriously, man. It's almost like I keep saying this in my videos, but you don't got to go to the club in Rio to have fun. You can literally go to a beach and have fun. Like, I literally remember I went to Mundo Lingo in Ipanema. So Mundo Lingo, think of it almost like a language exchange type of event.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard of it, Kings.
Yeah.
But they have one in but it's I think they also have one in Colombia too, right? Medellin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they do have a language exchange in Medellin.
Yeah, so it's all around the world too. But they have two of them, or three, I think. They have two. I only know two of them. So there's one in Panama and then one in Botafogo, I believe. So I remember coming out of there, having a good time. It was literally like 2 a.m. in the morning. We were walking. It was me and my boy walking by ourselves in Ipanema and Copacabana, which they advise you not to do at night, especially that late at night. And we did it anyway. So we're like, fuck it. Let's see how dangerous this shit is. We were unharmed, by the way. But besides the point, the main point of this is the beach at 2 a.m. in the morning on a Monday night. Because I think the events for Mundo Lingo and Ipanema happens on Monday night. It was packed. 2 a.m. on a Monday night. People playing volleyball, foot volley, which, by the way, if you guys don't know it, think of it almost as like a combination of soccer or football and volleyball together, where they're playing volleyball with their feet, right? They're kicking it up in the air and playing it or they're heading it or whatever it is, or using their chest. It's like a volleyball, but kind of mixed in with soccer. So you have people drinking, playing sports, diving in the pool, blasting Brazilian music at 2 a.m. in the morning on a Monday. That is the vibe you'll get in Rio de Janeiro. That is the vibe you'll get in Brazilian beaches, man. Like, these people don't believe in work days. Like, some of these people, I question myself. Like, do you guys have jobs? You guys
right.
Like, what the? It's 2 a.m. on a Monday. I expected this to be dead. Copacabana was lit that night. I have video proof of this. If you guys don't believe me, I have video proof of it. Like, literally, these people were like jamming out, going crazy, girls twerking, this, that. They be having beach parties at night. And during the day is the same vibe. Like, it's packed. People having fun. People drinking. You literally, like, you can get anything delivered to you. Like, when I went to Copacabana Beach and I was sitting there, like, they get you a chair, they get you a table, they get you drinks, they even got me food, right? They got me food. They got me chocolate, sweets, whatever I wanted. They treated me like a king on that beach. And then once you're done, of course, you would pay them afterwards. So they stack up the bill, right? They accumulate the bill, and then you pay at the end of it. That's the way it usually works in those beaches over there.
Okay.
But it's so much fun, man. But I would say another one that brothers are sleeping on is Barceloneta Beach in Barcelona. And the main selling point of that one is it's a topless beach. It's topless.
Okay.
Yeah, which most of the beaches in Spain are topless, and even the pools. You'll go to a rooftop pool, or you'll go to like a community pool, and community pools in Spain aren't like, I know in the United States they're frowned upon. Oh, you're going to a community pool in the States? Like, people, they frown upon that type of shit over here. They view that as gross here in the United States. But in Spain, that's a big thing. Like, people go to community pools out there, and it's no problem. and even girls out there were topless. I'm like, what the hell was going on here? Like, my ex at the time was shocked because she wasn't used to that. She comes from Russia, where it's very conservative.
Very conservative.
Yeah, but I would say Brazil has the best beach culture bar none, man. It's dope, good time, good vibes, music. You can't beat it.
Nice. That's great to know, man. Okay, and then the nightlife, right? So we talk about the nightlife. Did you go to the club in Rio and Sao Paulo, or was it just one of them?
So I mostly went out in Rio. Okay. Because Sao Paulo also has a very good nightlife. In fact, I've people kept saying before I went there that Sao Paulo in some ways is better than Rio, even though I didn't believe that. But Rio nightlife is dope, man. Like, I went out, like I said, I went out to Lapa. Like, you don't got to do the most to have fun out in Rio. Like, literally, you go outside your apartment and they'll be having a block party. They'll have a barbecue outside right in front of your crib, your apartment. Like, there's fun everywhere in Rio. Oh, yeah. Like, it's such a lit city. It's very vibrant. There's so much going on. Sao Paulo can be the same way depending where you are. I was in Pinheiros, which is a very upscale area in Sao Paulo. Now, I didn't get too much experience with going out in Sao Paulo. I'm gonna be honest with you, because my time was limited in Sao Paulo because I decided to have less days in Sao Paulo because I heard it's not as good as Rio. So I didn't really get to experience the nightlife as much, but I did go out and it was pretty fun, man. But I feel like Paulistas are more reserved compared to Cariocas that are just crazier. Like they're just partiers.
So name 2 to 3 things that people should know about Brazil that has not been spoken about enough. So let's do it like this. Let's do 2 great things and maybe 2 potential watch outs.
All right, so 2 watch outs. I'll start. I like starting with the bad and then going with the good. All right, so I have to really think about this. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm not trying to repeat what I've said before. I may repeat. I don't know, but
sure. It's
number one that you have to watch out with, a negative about Brazil is phone theft.
Oh yeah.
All right, there's phone theft. So be very careful with that. And the reason why phone theft is such a big thing, I made a video about this. Phone theft is huge in Rio de Janeiro, in Brazil specifically, because phones out there are so expensive because of the import tax. Mm-hmm. So because of that, it's 2-3 times the amount that you would pay for here in America. And people out in Brazil can't afford to do that. And on top of it, you have to think as a thief. All right, if I rob this dude and I sell this, that's a couple months of rent right there. I'm good.
Right.
You know what I mean? They can feed their families off of that. So that's why phone theft is such a big thing out there. So when I went out there, I bought myself an anti-theft. What was the name of this thing? It was a clutch pop. Right? So it's a clutch pop. So it basically hooks onto your pants. So if someone tries to rob you, they can't really do it. You know what I mean? So I bought that over there when I went over there. Because that's a huge thing. Like literally, motorcycles will come out of nowhere and just steal your phone.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And good luck trying to chase them. In fact, I don't recommend you chase them because you don't know what they got on them. Like Rio can be dangerous depending where you go. Like the favelas ain't no joke. You know what I mean? It ain't no joke where the people with guns, chilling with guns. Like if it's regular, you know what I mean? Be very careful with that. Police don't fuck around over there either. I heard stories about brothers getting pulled up by cops with guns for no reason. They didn't do anything, but the cops would pull up at them and yo, was good because they thought that they were someone else. So be careful with that type of stuff. You know, don't try to fight these people. Don't just let it be. You know, just don't. You're in a foreign country. You don't want to be saying or doing anything stupid out there. Right. What's another con? So actually, I have a quick little story about how I almost got robbed. This is another thing y'all need to watch out with.
Oh yeah, man. Let's definitely hear this one, brother.
I almost got robbed in Rio de Janeiro. So I'm gonna cut to the point. I'm gonna get through this very quickly. Sure. So basically, Copacabana Beach. All right. Again, Copacabana. It all comes down to Copacabana Beach. All right. So I went by myself to one of those bars by the beach. Right. It was midday, noon, happy hour. I had a picanha. I had some caipirinhas, and it was cheap, right? The caipirinhas were like half off or whatever it was. It was happy hour. So I had a ton of different caipirinhas, right? We had morango. I think the main one is limon, right? So I had a bunch of different ones, right? Cerveja, which is beer. So I was a little tipsy. I was a little wavy. So I came out of there and I was trying to go to the bathroom. Like I said, so you have to go down the stairs and it's in the basement, right? But this particular bathroom, outside of it were these guys, these street vendors. They looked like they were from the favelas. So they were selling a bunch of different stuff like jerseys, all that type of stuff, right? So I engaged with these people because I saw they were wearing like a soccer jersey. So one of them was wearing like a Bayern Munich jersey. And that was the day, I don't know if you guys follow football or soccer like that. That was the day, I think it was Bayern Munich versus Arsenal. So I had jokingly said, oh, yo, they're going to lose today. Arsenal's going to beat them, right? I hate Arsenal, by the way. So he was like, oh, let's make a bet on it then, bro. So he took out his money from his pocket. Let's make a bet on that. And I was like, nah, dog, I'm just playing around, right? So he's like, all right, cool. And I was like, yo, guys, I'll be back and go to the bathroom. I went to the bathroom, this, that, whatever. Came back up. They were there. My dumbass, all right? So I'm going to take accountability for this, right? So my dumbass, I told them, hey, guys, do you know where I can get chairs and stuff for the beach, like towels for the beach? Because I didn't know how it worked out there, right? That was my first time going to the beach out there. I didn't know how it worked. And I didn't see any shops that sold anything. So I told them, guys, you know where I could get like a chair, towel for the beach? So the guy was like, one of the guys like stood up and folded the chair, the beach chair that he had, and like gave it to me. He's like, here you go, brother. Take this over here. And I was like, how much is it? And he's like, 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾. So 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾, I believe. Hold on a second. Let me do the calculation for y'all real quick. I want to give you exact numbers here, right? So I have a currency app over here. So we're talking 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾. So let's reverse it. So 50. All right, so that's not too. So it's about, you see yet? All right, it's about $10, right? 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾, $10, right? So he gave me that. And I was like, all right, he's giving me a chair. It's only $10 or whatever, right? Then he gave me like a towel on top of it. Hey, man, take a towel while you're at that. Like one of those towels to lay on the beach, right? That was another 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾. So we're talking about 100 𝐻𝐻𝐾. That was about $20. And then guess what? This jersey that I'm wearing right here was another 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾 because I wanted to buy a jersey. I was like, man, I want a Brazil jersey. So this was another 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾. So we're talking about, I think about 150 now, right? So what happened was, what happens, and you guys need to watch out for this. This is a huge thing you guys need to watch out for. Everywhere in Brazil, which is a good thing, I guess that's a pro, and a pro and a con. But pro about Brazil is that anywhere you go to, they can accept card. Literally, you can go down to the bathroom, they'll accept card. They have card reading machines everywhere you go in Brazil. Everywhere you go, there's card reading machines, which doesn't make any sense to me in the United States that I can go to a shop and they don't have a card reading machine. They don't accept card. I don't get it, because Brazil, which is quote unquote a third world country, right, has card reading machines everywhere you go. It doesn't make any sense, but regardless. So basically, they took out the card reading machine. It was time to charge me. So what they're supposed to do is they put in the amount that they're going to charge you, which in this case was 150 𝐻𝐻𝐾, right? So they put in the amount, they show it to you, they turn it around, they show it to you, so that way you know how much they're charging you. And then from there, you tap it, you chip it, whatever the case is, you swipe, and then that's it. That's how the transactions work. However, I saw he put in an amount but didn't show me anything. So I was like, dog, I've been in Brazil for a couple of days now. Usually everyone turns it around. How much are you charging me? I told him in Spanish. And he was like, nah, don't worry about it, brother, man. 150 𝐻𝐻𝐾, 150 𝐻𝐻𝐾, right? So basically, I told him, no, turn it around. Turn it around. I started getting a little aggravated because I'm like, bro, I'm not stupid. I'm a little tipsy, but I'm not that stupid. Turn it around. He didn't want to turn it around. I told him again. I was being more sort of turn it around. And then he was like, okay. And he went like that, turn it back around quickly. So I was like, something's up, bro. I had like a gut feeling. His boys started getting involved, and they're all from the favela. So they came in, but they weren't being threatening about it or anything. They're being cool about it. Oh, bro, don't worry about it. Because they weren't trying to give off the impression that they were trying to, like rob me or whatever the case is. So basically, I told him, turn it around again. Because I was willing to go to war at that point. I was like, fuck it. I'm a little tipsy. I know it's stupid. You're in a foreign country, favela boys, whatever. But I was like, fuck it. I'm tipsy. I'm ready to go to war. I told him, turn that shit around, or else I'm not paying this shit. So he turned it around. He covered it up with his thumb. So all I saw was a 1 and a 5, but I didn't know how many zeros were attached to that. So I was like, bro, turn it around. Let me see the amount. I started getting very aggravated. His boys started getting more involved. This time they seemed a little bit more annoyed. So I was like, all right, you know what? Because the card I gave him was a Cash App card. So usually when I go out of the country, I like using Cash App cards because, one, I'm not trying to use my credit cards like that, right? I want to be able to use the cash that I saved up for that trip, not credit cards. So I use Cash App cards. So I transfer $100 at a time. In Brazil, $100, I mean, on average, you're probably going to be spending about that much or a little less in Brazil, depending on how crazy you're going, right? So I put $100 each day into that card. So I had $100 in that Cash App card. Keep in mind, this is 150 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽. So let me go back again because I want to give you the exact number. So 150 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽, that's $27, about $30, right? $30. I had $100 in that Cash App card at that moment. So I was like, you know what? I have $100. If they rob me, they only rob me for $100, whatever. But at least I make it out alive, whatever. Cool, fuck it. So he tapped it. It declined. My bank literally declined it. I was like, what's going on here? I have $100. I didn't tell him that, but in my head, I'm like, I have $100 in this account. Why is it not going through? So they kept doing it, switching machines, this, that, whatever. They started getting frustrated. And then finally, after like 10 minutes of us standing around there, finally it went through. So I was like, all right, cool. I took my shit. And the crazy part is I was pissed at the guy because I wanted a Vinicius Junior Brazil jersey. He gave me a Neymar Junior jersey. So I was already pissed about that when I saw that because I didn't realize that until I started walking to the beach. But then I got even more pissed when I saw that you can literally rent chairs and all that from the beach itself because they have tents that sell that for like 5-10 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽. I paid 50 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽 for my chair and another 50 for the freaking towel. So I got robbed on there, right? But the main thing I was pissed about, and I wanted to confront them so bad about that, was they tried to charge me $1,000. They tried to charge me $1,000. It didn't go through, so that's why I got declined. Then they did 900, 800, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. They ended up, they stopped after 200. They stopped after 200 USD because they probably thought, all right, this guy broke. Like, this American got no money. Let's just charge him however much that we said we were going to charge him and at least walk out with some money. I think that's what their mentality was. You know what I mean? And so they charged me the $30 that they were supposed to charge me. But I was still pissed off that they even attempted to do that to me. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, guys, is God is looking out after y'all. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are out to get you. People have bad intentions to screw you over, to rob you, whatever the case is. But like, if you're a good dude and you're a good heart and you're doing good thing for the people, you're looking out for people, you're a positive dude, you know what I mean? You're ambitious, you're hardworking. God's going to protect you. And he protected me at that very moment, man. You know what I mean? Because I could have been robbed for a lot of money. Let's just say if I paid with my regular debit card where I had much more than $100, I would have been robbed for all that. Like, you know what I mean? And I know to some brothers, $1,000 ain't shit. You know, I know there's a lot of successful brothers that travel, but $1,000 is still money. You know what I mean? I know there's a lot of dudes in America that don't even have $1,000 in their savings account right now for an emergency fund. You know what I mean? So imagine they would have robbed me for $1,000. I would have been tight. You know, so that's the thing, brothers. They almost robbed me right there, man. I mean, they technically did because they kind of instead of me paying 10 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽 for a chair, they charged me 50 for the chair. So yeah. So yeah, watch out.
No, but, yeah, I mean, you know, you're definitely right. But here's the thing: like as you mentioned, $1,000 is $1,000. Like
that's still money.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if you're someone that's well to do, you don't want to lose $1,000. So I'm paying $1,000 for what? A chair, a jersey, and what was the other thing?
So it was a chair, a towel, and a jersey. So this jersey that I'm wearing,
$1,000. Nah, yeah, I would have been pissed. I would have been.
Well, I wanted to go back and fight them so bad, but I was like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna risk my life over that. Whatever. They charged me however much they said they were. So they charged me $30, right? After it kept getting declined. So I was like, whatever. They charged me $30. They still kind of ripped me off because I could have gotten a chair for 10 𝐻𝐻𝐾𝐽, but it is what it is.
No, but yeah, but exactly what Charles just said. $1,000 is $1,000, bro. It doesn't matter if you are well to do or not, man. Like, nah. Especially for that, because like here's the thing, especially for guys who are, you know, higher value, if you will, like we work hard for that, man. We work hard to be able to relax and you know, spend our money. We don't want our money to be taken from us on like frivolous things. Nah, man. You gotta move the right way. Not saying you, but I'm talking about in
No, I
general.
get you. Yo, so that was one of the few times
a grand is a grand. I don't care how successful one claims to be. Exactly. No, I agree 1,000% of what Charles is saying, man. Let's see what else.
No, I agree with Charles, man. That was my mistake. I'm not doing that again. But hopefully, I'm telling y'all that story, and I made that video on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So you guys can check that out, by the way. I made all that to prevent other brothers from doing the same mistake that I made. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to admit that I slipped up that time. And it could have been a grand mistake, but I'm happy it didn't turn out that way. God protected me.
Yeah, why didn't you just walk away? Because I mean, like were you already wearing the jersey?
So I had the jersey, everything in my hand. So my thing was, they already had the card in their hand. They were trying to do it, and it kept getting declined. So like why didn't you just like, you know, just give them the stuff back and just be like, hey man, give me my card. You
like,
see, but that's the thing, man, is I'm not gonna make any excuses for myself. That was a rookie mistake on my part.
No, it's all good.
Of course, you can say I was tipsy at that very moment, so I wasn't really clearly thinking. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had a gut feeling something was wrong, but then on top of that, you're talking about guys from the favela. You know what I mean? Once you say you're gonna buy something, you try to walk off. I don't know what the reaction is gonna be.
Okay, so you didn't want
I wasn't trying to escalate shit.
The smartest thing you did was transfer that $100 to your Cash App card. Also,
I'm so glad I did that, man. Guys, please do that.
Flagged. Yep.
If you go overseas, man, like do that, man. They'll even use your debit because also the international fees that stacks up. My bank card.
Good idea. The Cash App card. Yeah,
use the Cash App card.
You had the two watch outs. Now you got to do the two positive things now.
The two positive things about Brazil. I'm trying to think about this one.
That haven't really been spoken about that people should know. Because you mentioned the two negative things. The like the pickpocket or people like on the motos that would like snatch your phone. That's it's like that in Colombia too.
Yeah,
so,
from what I hear.
Yeah, it's like that in Colombia too. But also I've heard that it's like that in Kenya. So I think that for the most part, it's outside of the United States because of how expensive it is to get like an iPhone or like the Galaxy to get those imported into those countries. Because Jamaica, they'll do that too, but like like depending on where you at in Jamaica, like they won't just pickpocket you like that. Like they'll pull the chopper out on you and just say, "Yeah, man, you just have to give me a thing." You see it?
Facts,
that just means you have to give me what you have. That's it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they pull out the big gun, dog. And that's it. Yeah.
Lucky for me, I didn't go through anything like that in Brazil.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, man. So the two positive things, man, and then I'll get you out of here on that one.
So, it's something that I kind of sort of mentioned before, but it's the best thing to me about Brazil. Brazil is one of those places in the world, right? Because when let me start off by saying this: Barcelona. The best thing about Barcelona, I felt it was the architecture, the beaches, all that, right? Paris, Eiffel Tower, beautiful architecture, just literally anywhere you go, it's like a work of art, right? It's beautiful city. With Brazil, it isn't like sure, you would think that the main highlight of Brazil would be the mountains and the nature and the beaches, but the main highlight and the best thing about Brazil are the people. The people are some of the best people you'll meet in your freaking life. They're welcoming, they're sweet, they're nice, they'll embrace you, right? Like literally, they will treat you like family. They'll invite you over to their house. They'll cook for you. The women are some of the sweetest women I ever met in my life. The most fun people I ever met in my life. They're always partying, always having a good time. You know, they believe in Brazil, similar to Spain and some countries in Europe, of course. They believe in working to live and not the other way around. In America, I feel like a lot of brothers get themselves in the hamster wheel, right? And even sisters too. They'll get themselves in the hamster wheel where it's about living to work, right? There's a lot of people out here that have 2-3 jobs, or they're struggling to make ends meet with 2-3 jobs. You know what I mean? In Brazil, yes, people do struggle out there, obviously, right? People struggle to make ends meet over there too. However, they balance it out because their life is fun. Family is important over there. Having a good time is important. Living life is important. The quality of life out there is amazing, similar to how it is in Spain as well. I would say that's the best thing about Brazil is the people, man. Like, it's unmatched. Like I said, I have a deep love for Brazilian women. I think my future wife, and the thing is, I'm conflicted about marriage, right? But if I were to get married, it would 100% be to a Brazilian woman, unless Colombian women in Colombia can change my mind. But you know, that's one thing about Brazil, and the best thing about Brazil, it's the people. The second thing, now it gets a little hard because I feel like I'm repeating myself. So yeah, the nightlife is dope. Cost of living is cool. I'm trying to think of something I didn't think about before. Uber's transportation is very cheap and they're very quick. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really need to rent a car or anything like that. You can literally order off of the Uber app. They'll be there within seconds. Like, it's quick. That's another thing about Rio and Sao Paulo. The everything is quick out there, right? So if you're trying to go anywhere, man, you order it, only a couple bucks, $3-5 to take you from one end of the town to the other, and it's quick. Rappi, make sure to download Rappi. I'm sure Colombia is the same thing.
Yeah,
Rappi,
we have Rappi.
Yeah, Rappi is dope. It's like, if you guys don't know what Rappi is, that's like the Uber Eats version of South America. And Brazil is very popular. I even heard they can deliver money to you. I don't know how true that is.
It is very true.
Rappi can deliver money to you. It's a great service. I'm trying to think what else. Another thing I loved about Brazil is the diversity in both the people and, of course, the cities. You know, like, it feels like you're in different worlds sometimes. Like, Rio is not like Sao Paulo and vice versa. And I would assume Salvador, Bahia, Florianopolis, other places are much different from the others as well. Sao Paulo feels more like a New York City, American type of vibe, which isn't a bad thing. You know what I mean? It has this Brazilian flavor to it, right? And then Rio feels like party central. It feels like Miami, Florida, you know, like you're in California, like you about to get lit, right? It's so diverse and different. And the people are so diverse. Like I said, like, you'll meet black people, white people, curly hair people, straight hair people, like any type of mix you can think of. I met Japanese. If you guys are into Asian women, right? But because I think the biggest critique about Asian women, not to come at my Asian women or any of my brothers that like going to Thailand, Philippines. I'm sure there's a lot of beautiful women out there. But if y'all want a thick Asian woman with curves, go to Brazil. Specifically, Sao Paulo. Specifically, go to Liberdade. Liberdade is a Japanese area within Sao Paulo where there's a bunch of Japanese Brazilians there. There's a bunch of Japanese people in Brazil, and they're thick. They're beautiful. You know what I mean? So that's one thing. You'll meet a lot of beautiful Japanese people. In fact, that's another thing I forgot to leave off. I don't know if I mentioned it. Brazil has the highest population of Japanese people outside of Japan, right? So if y'all into that, go to Brazil. Lebanese people, a lot of Lebanese people in Brazil, Germans, Italians, anything you can think of is in Brazil. Brazil got everything for everybody, right? There's a flavor for everyone over there. You know what I mean? Tons of diversity. So I would say those are basically the best things about Brazil, right? That I can think of out of the top of my head. I'm sure by the time we're done with this, I'll probably think about some more and I'm going to be mad at myself I didn't mention it. But those are the best things I can think of about Brazil.
Man, dropping gems. My bro is dropping gems. Now, I did not know about the Japanese thing, that Brazil has the most people outside of Japan. I did know about the black thing. I did know about the black thing because but a lot of people don't know that Brazil has the most black people outside of the continent of Africa. And also that the country Brazil is about 2/3 the size of the United States, and I want to say Brazil is about 70% black, I believe.
Around there, around that range. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very
very diverse, man.
Oh,
my bad, Charles.
He said he gave away the secret garden. The Japanese.
Oh, yeah, man. I want them thick Asian women, man. Liberdade São Paulo.
Yeah. You gave the ways direction too. Landmark and everything.
I didn't know, but listen, man, I'm not really into Asian women like that until I went to Sao Paulo. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll give an Asian woman a shot. Yeah, that's how it is out there, man.
You might want to check out Cambodia though. Cambodia, thick.
I like Filipinas too, man.
No doubt, man, no doubt. Yep, agreed. Brazilian people are some of the best people I've ever met.
Mm-hmm. To me, they're number one that I've met, that I've come across.
Wow,
easily number one.
Wow, man, that's saying something.